we have an update to the South Korea situation. We have an update to the South Korea situation. So, South Korea has done it. They initially were not able to arrest the former prime minister because a bunch of goons all lined up outside of his house and prevented them, and they didn't want to, like, start a violent clash, so they decided to just go home and wait until they could just grab him and snag him, and the plan worked. Eventually, he was alone, and they snagged him, and now he is under arrest. Yoon becomes South Korea's first sitting president to be detained after martial law chaos. Let's see. South Korea's impeached president Yoon Suk-yeol was detained in a major law enforcement operation at the presidential compound Wednesday, defiantly insisting the anti-corruption agency didn't have the authority to investigate his actions, but saying he complied to prevent violence. Yoon, the country's first sitting president to be apprehended, now faces the prospect of a lengthy prison term over potential rebellion charges. In a video message recorded shortly before he was escorted to the headquarters of the anti-corruption agency, Yoon lamented the, quote, rule of law has completely collapsed in this country. Sure it did, dude. Yeah, it totally collapsed. It wasn't like that you were trying to collapse the rule of law. It's them that's doing it, actually, or for real, yeah. Yoon has been holed up in the Hanam-dong residence in the capital, Seoul, for weeks while vowing to, quote, fight to the end the efforts to oust him. He had justified his declaration of martial law December 3rd as a lengthy act of governance against an anti-state opposition in employing its legislative majority to thwart his agenda. The corruption investigation Office of High-Ranking Officials said Yoon was brought into custody about 5 hours after investigators arrived at the presidential compound and about 3 hours after the successful entered the residence in their second attempt to detain him over the imposed martial law. A series of black SUVs, some equipped with sirens, were seen leaving the presidential compound with police escorts. Yoon was later seen stepping out of a vehicle after arriving at the agency office in the nearby city of Gwancheon. Following questioning, Yoon was expected to be sent to a detention center in Yoang near Seoul. Now, what's next? Yoon could be held in custody for weeks, possibly even months or longer. The anti-corruption agency, which is leading a joint investigation with the police and the military over whether Yoon's martial law declaration amounted to an attempted rebellion, has for 48 hours requested court order of his formal arrest on the charges of attempting a rebellion. If it fails to do so, Yoon will be released. If Yoon formally arrested, investigators can extend his detention to 20 days before transferring the case to public prosecutors for indictment. Prosecutors they will indict him, by the way. He's absolutely going to get fucking indicted for this. It's crazy. Prosecutors indicted Yoon on rebellion and abuse of power charges, which are the allegations examined by investigators. He could possibly remain under arrest until the initial court ruling, which is typically made within 6 months. Said Park Sun-bae, an attorney specialized in criminal law. Under South Korean law, the leader of a rebellion can face the death penalty or life imprisonment if convicted. Bro, oh my god, if they execute him, that'd be crazy. If the first court hands down a prison sentence, the detention simply continues, Park said. If the sentence him to life imprisonment, for example, he continues serving that sentence straight through. Yoon's defense minister, a police chief, and several top military commanders already had been arrested over their roles in the enforcement of martial law. The detention warrant for Yoon, issued by the Seoul Western District Court, said there were substantial reasons to suspect that he committed crimes as a ringleader of a rebellion. The anti-corruption, this is actually awesome. It's so awesome that no one has been hurt. Like, the thing that I really appreciate about this more than anything is that this was an attempted coup d'etat, an attempted takeover of the government, and no one has been hurt. Not a fucking fist was thrown, not a gun was fired, not a knife was plunged into anybody, and they're just dealing with it peacefully. And he tried to do it, it didn't work, and now he's gonna go to jail. Yeah, clearly nobody wanted this, yeah. Attempted goon. Let's see, in a separate message post on his Facebook account after he was detained, Yoon said that martial law is not a crime saying this declaration was necessary to raise awareness about the opposition that was exercising legislative dictatorship by blocking laws and budgets and paralyzing state affairs. He denied the rebellion accusations, describing his impeachment as fraud. Oh my God, bro, come on. I was just trying to use awareness when I stabbed you in the face. So that people have awareness of face stabbing crimes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? When someone tries to overthrow the government, they get punished for it in Korea, but in America, they get elected president. Yeah. Who the fuck you be? I thought I heard goons. The scene at the compound, as they began the detention operation in the early morning, the anti-corruption legislators and police officers engaged in an hours-long standoff at the compound's gate with presidential security forces, but otherwise encountered no meaningful resistance. Police officers were seen using wire cutters to remove barbed wire placed by the presidential security service on the perimeter of the compound to block the entry. Some police officers used ladders to climb over rows of bushes blocking the compound's entrance, and the investigators began moving up the hill compound. The investigators and police later arrived in the front of the metal gate with the gold presidential mark that is near Yoon's residential building. Some officers were seen entering a security door on the side of the metal gate, joined by one of Yoon's lawyers and his chief of staff before Yoon was driven out. God, it's crazy. I just want to show you how sharp my knife was. It's not my fault your face attacked my knife. Yeah. Comedy's a fucking Usama. Yeah, no, I mean, he's been literally, ever since the declaration of martial law, he's been locked down in basically his house and refused to leave. And had people like defending him, like some of his fascist friends defending him. So yeah, that's the update to that. He has been arrested, and good, honestly, good. I hope that it continues. I hope that he goes to jail forever. I hope they put him away forever, because you can't let people get away with this shit, man. You can't. This is how Baka is going to overthrow Arthur's Wolf regime. No.